All right, guys, so the new potential sporting director, I think in the last video I did about him, which was, I don't know, maybe a week ago, I can't remember, I said that I thought he was due on Merseyside this week to try and, conclude that situation. I'm just providing an update, about, listen, I'm not providing any new news about him, so you can log off now if that's what you think I'm going to do. I'm trying to give an update to, like, people keep saying to me, what's your opinion on this? My opinion's changing on a day-to-day basis, and I'm going to give you my current one. Now, I find it exceptionally strange that this guy could come in on a short-term deal with a view to extend it, fine, but I don't even know why we're hearing about this, short-term deal, if that makes sense, if that's true, which I think it is, right? Now, if there is an announcement that he signed a 3-year contract, regardless of what they say, will still believe that there is that short-term get-out clause. Guarantee it, right? I think Liverpool will do everything they can in their power, if this deal is concluded, right, which we expect it to be, to give the impression that it's actually not a short-term deal. I don't know, that's just what I think. So pay attention to the LFC click, because if it says, signed 3-year deal, or long-term deal, or whatever, or he's going to be here for the future, they're not going to add that little bit that says, there is that little get-out clause. They're not going to do that, right? So why have we been told about the get-out clause or the short-term deal? Why are people suggesting? This is the most strangest thing I've ever heard in my life when appointing a sporting director, right? Because a sporting director is someone that needs years to do their job. Would you not agree? If you're going to try and sign players, line deals up, you're already thinking about next year, not just next year, the year after. So how can someone come in for 3 months, for argument's sake, and possibly do that? Some people say, well, it's so they can see how well he does. How the fuck can he do any good in 3 months? All right? It just doesn't make sense. Some people go, well, it's because he's got these massive German connections and he might be able to get Belling. I've never heard so much drivel in all my life. Even Jurgen Klopp had to come out the other week and go, well, it's not to do with me. Like, I mean, I know him, because some people are saying, Klopp's appointment, wants a friend there that's going to agree with him. Do you know what I mean? I think Klopp's going, fucking hell, this. Now, this guy, right, he deserves a chance. That's fine. He's never had a job like this in his life, this big, ever, all right? So that doesn't mean he's going to fail. If we took that attitude, you would never sign, new managers. You would never sign, up-and-coming players or anything. But we all know that the majority of up-and-coming people never fucking make it, right? Just say it, right? You know what I'm saying? Brendan Rodgers, right? He'd never managed a club like Liverpool before. They tried to school him into it or whatever. It didn't work, in my opinion. Not wrong with him. He did all right, but you know what I'm saying. So we're led to believe, and I personally believe, sorry, I'm getting messages flash up on my phone. I personally believe that Liverpool did try and bring in 2 other different sporting directors. And the suggestion was that John Henry met with one of those around the same time that he was in the UK recently. And a decision was due on that particular, around the weekend after he'd been, I think. I can't remember. And, but by the end of that week, we had this new guy, who I'm going to call George, suddenly decided that he was the right man for the job, which to me sounds like, no. Now, if you're a sporting director, you want a job at Liverpool, right? First thing you're going to say is, what's the long-term plan, right? Because I'm coming to work here for years. I've got a good CV. I'm not ruining my reputation. What's the crack? Some people might say, well, it's because they said there's not enough money. Maybe that's right. Maybe he's gone, well, I can't fucking do anything there. But is this guy, this guy, he's going to go, well, I've never spent this much money in my fucking life. So you can see why he'd do it. Anyway, forget that bit. So you're a sporting director. How long are you going to, what's the project? Yeah. Where do we see ourselves 3-5 years from now? Where will you be 3-5 years? What's the ownership situation? And the owners cannot turn around and say, we're going to be here. It doesn't mean they're going to sell guys just because they're appointing someone on a short-term basis. What it means is that to the real, like, creme de la creme of sporting directors that you might want at your club, they would have to reply and say, we have to be honest with you, we're going through a process of, examining potential investment or sales, so we can't actually guarantee that we will be here. So would you want to be given a job by someone? Would you take a job by an employer that says, well, we'd love you to come and work for us, Duncan. We really would. You're amazing. We've seen your videos. We'd love you to come and work for us. But to be honest, we don't know if we're going to be here 2 or 3 months from now, or 6, or whatever, right? That makes me think, well, hang on a minute. How can I do my job properly? They might get rid of me, the new people that come in, if that happens, right? Or something I forgot. It's nonsense, guys. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever heard in my life, right? This situation. And he would say, his sporting director, a very, highly respected guy, doesn't want to, he wants to do the best, right? So he knows he needs a long time to do his job, and if there isn't a plan like that, I think that's what would turn them people off. Why would you turn down Liverpool Football Club? I don't care who you are, rival fans watching this and go, because we hate you. Well, that's fine. But unfortunately, in the real world of football, these people, these executives, these suits, as I call them, they don't give a fuck about club rivalry or stuff like that. So they just want to do good for them. So I think your big cheese, the ones that you would like to have seen appointed sporting directors, I think they've looked at the job and gone, there's too much uncertainty around that club to take that job at the moment, right? And, you then get George, right? It's like, he signed Eric Meyer, remember, right? And I'm not going to get into the player that he sold for $3 million. Because it makes it sound like I'm trying to slaughter this guy, and I'm not. I believe in giving everyone a chance in life, right? And he could be amazing. But he's offered a job, and he's gone, you about work for Liverpool? And go, yeah, we'd like you to come work for Liverpool. Yeah, really? Yeah. Well, when we don't know if we're going to be here, you say, yeah, but what's the crack like? Well, we'd like to do 3 months, and if we're still here, if we don't sell the club, we can extend it and that. Yeah? Fucking hell, yeah, it's all right, I'll do it. Yeah? Do you know what I mean, guys? It all sounds like that. I can't explain to you how baffled I am by this. And it will be spun in a particular way. I guarantee it, right? I guarantee it. If there's an official announcement, it ain't going to sound like it's just like temporary. I can't see them doing that. Who takes a job and goes, yeah, I'll do the job for free? I wouldn't fucking do that for any amount of money. I don't know if I was stinking rich at the end of it, maybe, but I don't know. I think even you guys in your normal jobs, right? Because many of you will be employed by people, right? I'm not employed by anybody, right? Because obviously Cop Talk's my gig, and that's how I try to get through life, right? It's my passion, and I love what I do. But, there's no security with what I do. Without you guys watching this, supporting me, I have nothing in my life, and I cannot explain to you how true that statement is. If I worked for someone, right, then what's the most important thing? You're going to say salary, okay, but job security, right? You don't jump from job to job or whatever, and everyone wants to further themselves, and things can go wrong. And if you have if you're nervous, it's like, oh, I don't know if I should do it. You never get anywhere in life. You've got to take gambles. And this guy could be amazing, but to me, this whole appointment smells of uncertainty and backs up my belief that the owners might sell this club. And if they don't sell this club, they can turn around to George and go, George, it's fine. We don't need to get rid of you, mate. Are you enjoying the job? We'd love you to stay, right? Or maybe you could argue that if FSG say, no, we're going to stay, we're going to see it out, maybe they can look at someone else in the future. And I don't know. It's the most underwhelming appointment I've ever seen at Liverpool Football Club. And one of the guys on the Cop Talk members website yesterday was saying that he's in Germany, he lives in Germany, follows German football, but he's by no means an expert. But he said people are like literally laughing about this. Like, maybe there's an element of rival fans in there, I don't know. But they're like, how the fuck has George got a job at Liverpool Football Club? And it sounds so awful because I feel guilty saying that. But that member as well said, but this is just people, with an opinion. It doesn't mean they're right. Someone can take that job and it could be brilliant. You don't know unless you try. It's just the one thing I will go back to, and I think it's the most important thing with all of this, is why did someone want us to know that it could be a temporary position with a view to extend or whatever, get out, whatever? Why? Why was that put out there? Who knows that? George knows that, right? And the owners know that. And a few other people that might be interested in the job. Why do we know, supporters, why are we given such a strange statement? I genuinely, this is, I'll be honest with you, this really is like putting tinfoil hat on now, conspiracy theories here. And it's nothing to do with like, because it means they're selling the club. No. They might sell the club. It certainly, there is, I definitely do think it's linked to a possibility of that. But them fuckers don't know if they're going to sell it yet, so it makes sense. But the tin hat, the foil hat comes on over why we know about this. And I feel like that's put out there so that anybody that might have an interest in Liverpool Football Club, whether they are a sporting director or in terms of buying it, know that these are just run-of-the-mill appointments just to get through. And I genuinely can't even explain what I mean by that. I know what I mean, but I think we'd be here for another hour if I tried to convey what I'm trying to say to you. And I know you sat there going, "Don't, what the fuck are you on about?" How do I explain it? I just feel like that statement says this club is on the market. That's just what I feel it says. And if I try and explain it to you why I come to that, you might not even agree with me anyway. But that's my opinion. So I think it backs up my... Rather than saying that they are trying to find a buyer, I think it backs up that the common sense statement of, we actually don't know what's happening at Liverpool. We don't know if we're going to own this club or not. So therefore, that club is still available for sale, and it backs up my previous video. I hope that I've kind of got the right message across here. And we give the guy a chance, whatever happens. If you see this statement or he signed a long-term contract, don't then go, what a load of bullshit that was, because I guarantee in that contract there'll be something that says, but we can terminate it after 3 months, or if the club is sold, or you can get out, or whatever. It's an extremely strange appointment. This guy is not a fucking German expert. It depends who you read. If you read some of the German journalists, they'll say, well, yeah, he's a bit, it's like the Sam Allardyce of fucking, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Sam Allardyce. He does a job. Do you know what I mean? But some people think that he's an expert. But I've read highly respected journalists in Germany saying this guy, his paths cross with Jurgen. They're not close friends. You know what I mean? The fact that we even have to discuss that and people even have to say all that should say enough to you, because many of us will know a sporting director that's done amazing at some clubs and go, well, fucking hell, you don't even have to tell me who he is, because he would be great. And you always have to look at what your rivals are doing. So the other sporting directors that were linked with us have all been sounded out by the likes of Chelsea and stuff like that, over recent years, and clubs in Europe, right? So, because the best clubs, the elite clubs, whether you like Chelsea or not, they want the best people in those positions. I don't see anyone stumbling, fighting to get this guy, right? So, but I feel awful saying that, because I am really a person about giving people a chance in life. And he could be the nicest guy, the most perfect guy for the appointment. We won't know until he takes it. But I just find it exceptionally strange. This is one of the most strangest things ever I've seen in supporting Liverpool in the 25 years I've been talking about Liverpool Football Club. Not because we don't know him or whatever. It's this sporting director. It'd be like hiring a builder to add an extension to your house, and you say, how long do you reckon it'll take to do that job? Don't know, a couple of months maybe. We'll get it done in a couple of months. That, like, we've got this to do and that to do, and and then going, all right, then we'll give it a day, all right, and we'll see how we're getting on. Fuck off, man! I've never heard so much shite in all my life. Something odd about it, guys. It really is. Please thumbs up. Drop me a comment. Well, thumbs up if you like the fucking video. I don't want you just to do it for the sake of it. And do like the video. Hit that thanks button, because I like the thanks button. It puts a big smile on these cheesy faces. Well, I've got enough fucking chins. But yeah, do that. Yeah, good. And join the channel as well while you're at it. Yeah. Or if you really want to make my day, become a Cop Talk VIP member, I can go and get some shopping in. That'd be nice. It's a fucking true story. All right, guys, I'll speak to you a bit live this afternoon at 3 o'clock. All right.